In the vastness of the galaxy, humans may not stand as the strongest or the most technologically advanced species, yet they possess an unrivaled trait, an unparalleled capacity for vengeance and persistence. Evolving into relentless predators, they harbor an unyielding tenacity that sets them apart from countless other civilizations scattered across the stars. Should you wrong a human, they will relentlessly pursue you across the galaxy, dedicating years, if not decades, to settle the score. Their technology might be rudimentary, with ships struggling to surpass certain speeds and weapons that seem basic compared to the sophisticated arsenals of more advanced species. But underestimating them is a perilous mistake. The alien bartender in the dimly lit dive bar had warned a group of local toughs, including a gruff man named Holden, about this very danger. The bar, nestled in the heart of Frontier City, was a melting pot of various species, each bringing their own stories and scars. Despite their worn-out vessels and basic weaponry, humans instill fear like no other, with their capacity for retaliation. Their eyes burning with a determination that speaks of countless battles fought and won. Holden, a towering figure with a perpetual scowl etched onto his rugged face, mocked the bartender while absently scratching a worn patch on the bar. His demeanor suggested a man who had seen his fair share of conflicts, yet even he couldn't help but agree, fully aware of the peril in underestimating humanity. His eyes drifted to the bartender's empty eye socket, where his third eye once resided, a grim reminder of a past encounter with a human that had left him permanently scarred, both physically and mentally. "I understand it's a hefty sum for this job," the bartender continued, his voice tinged with bitterness and regret. "All right. The folks footing the bill are reputable and prompt with their payments. No need to involve the bullying guards in their schemes. But if you're set on doing it, wait until the humans clear out before causing a ruckus. They'll be long gone by tomorrow evening after the second sun sets. It's just safer dealing with humans that way. Otherwise, your life's as good as forfeit." His words carried the weight of hard-earned wisdom, a caution born from countless encounters where underestimating humans had led to dire consequences. Some of the thugs chuckled at his warnings, their laughter echoing off the grimy walls of the bar, while others scowled, muttering about avoiding this place for future job postings. They settled their tabs with a mix of reluctance and disdain, their departure marked by the shuffle of heavy boots and the fading murmurs of their conversation as they vanished into the shadows of Frontier City. The bartender watched them leave, his expression a mask of weary resignation, before pouring himself a generous serving of double-distilled Alnick spirits. He cursed the impulsive youngsters who dared to underestimate humanity, knowing all too well the relentless pursuit that awaited those who wronged them. As he sat lost in his thoughts, the bartender's solitude was interrupted by the subtle approach of a hooded figure. The stranger, cloaked in a dark robe that concealed their features, sidled up to the bar and quietly ordered the same drink. "One thing's for certain, they won't be returning here," the stranger remarked, their voice barely above a whisper but carrying an undeniable weight of certainty. The bartender glanced up, noticing the robe and mask concealing the stranger's identity, a familiar look of guardedness settling over his features. "Why not?" he grumbled, a hint of curiosity breaking through his otherwise stoic demeanor, before emitting a sound that could have been interpreted as either subdued sarcasm or quiet despair. "They're doomed. They could have waited, collected their earnings tomorrow, but they lack patience. They'll cash in their reward elsewhere where shade work is available. By this time next month, every last one of them will meet their end." The hooded stranger shrugged and lifted a portion of their mask, revealing a dark-haired, dark-eyed male human whose gaze held a mix of sorrow and determination. "Well, though?" the stranger inquired, leaning slightly forward as if the weight of the question pressed heavily upon them. The bartender gestured to his empty eye socket, the scar where his third eye once dwelled, a stark reminder of a human's wrath and the price of underestimation. Years ago, a human did this to me. All that's left is an ugly scar where my eye once was. I can't perceive ultraviolet anymore. We evolved this eye to detect nocturnal predators on my homeworld, ones that could only be seen at a specific frequency of light. A human burned it away. His voice quavered slightly, the pain of the loss still raw despite the passage of time. The stranger studied the scar with a mixture of predators suffering. Why would any human do that? Because I made a mistake, the bartender confessed, his voice heavy with regret and the burden of his past actions. Back when I was involved in shade work, frontier business or dirt jobs, whatever you want to call it, I signed on with some truly nefarious individuals, a dark outfit known as the Crimson Star Cartel. Not just gray business like smuggling or extortion, but truly malevolent dealings that crossed moral boundaries most species would never dare approach. I needed the money, but that's no excuse. I convinced myself I was just a driver, merely transporting goods from one place to another. But that doesn't absolve me of the fact that what I was transporting was perilous. Drugs, chemical weapons, and slaves. Not just from markets, but from places where hope had long been extinguished. He paused, the weight of his memories pressing down on him like a physical force, threatening to pull him back into the dark recesses of his past. They'd raid small frontier colonies on outlying worlds, places where the law hadn't yet reached, perhaps not even official colonies recognized by the galactic councils. These were often untamed, lawless regions where survival was a daily struggle, and any semblance of order was tenuous at best. The Crimson Star Cartel thrived in these environments, plundering everything they could get their hands on with ruthless efficiency. Meanwhile, I'd sit in the spaceship, waiting for the shuttles to return with whatever or whoever they'd stolen, my role as a transporter making me complicit in their atrocities. I didn't like it, but I had habits to feed, habits born out of desperation and the need to survive. I convinced myself I had a girlfriend who couldn't work because she was tending to our egg, a fabrication to make my involvement seem less culpable. I didn't do it, and for a while I could almost live with it, burying the guilt. D'Angelo Tocalmo was killed, but they couldn't prove it. A heavy sigh escaped him as closing time loomed, the potent aroma of fruit-based ethanol lingering in the air, mingling with the smoky haze that clung to the dimly lit bar. His recollections were interrupted by the sudden roar of the bar's door being forced open, the sound reverberating through the room and sending a chill down his spine. A towering Kate War Reaver stormed in, her helmet scraping against the ceiling, her presence commanding and terrifying. Two smaller male cave warriors followed her, their movements swift and precise, exuding an aura of menace and authority. She reached for the bartender with her 6 arms, demanding alcohol while threatening to tear out his throat with her formidable teeth. The bartender instinctively reached for a plasma rifle concealed beneath the counter, his hand trembling slightly. But it was too late. The stranger, calm and resolute despite the imminent threat, produced a peculiar metallic object from beneath their robe. A long tube with a cyclic device, a handle, and a small trigger, its purpose unclear, yet evidently powerful. The Kate War Reaver snarled, her voice dripping with contempt and rage. "I fragging well am I. And unless you want to kiss my claws, feel my teeth in your organs, or pay me not to kill your world, frag off." In an instant, a series of chemical explosions erupted, propelling metal objects at incredible speeds with pinpoint accuracy. One struck the female Reaver directly in her 4 eyes, the impact leaving her dead almost instantly. The suddenness and efficiency of the attack left the other male Reavers momentarily stunned. One of them fled into the night, eager to escape the wrath of the Kate War Cult's Reavers, while the other shed joyful tears in his 4 eyes, a mix of relief and sorrow washing over him. The bartender stared in shock at the fallen warrior, his mind reeling from the abrupt turn of events. The stranger turned to him, removing their hood to reveal the determined human face beneath. "You know why you don't cross humans. We're persistent predators. We'll pursue those who have wronged us to the ends of the galaxy and beyond to exact revenge." The words hung in the air, a stark reminder of the relentless nature that defined humanity's approach to vengeance. The stranger extended a trembling hand to the remaining Selenite, who hesitantly grasped it, pulling the human into a firm embrace that spoke of shared pain and unspoken understanding. "Damn war reavers stole my boyfriend," the stranger continued, his voice filled with a mix of anger and desperation. "It took me 2 years to track her down, set up a legal bounty on her head through third parties that I could access with my bounty hunter license. I found her schedule for the night, changed it, and put mild poisons into her food, enough to weaken her so I could get close enough to kill her." His actions were methodical, driven by a deep-seated need for retribution that had consumed him for years. He looted the dead alien's body for a personal datapad, accessing it using biometrics from the still-warm corpse. With deft movements, he navigated the datapad, freeing both his boyfriend and the other poor Kate male from their legal debt slavery, a twisted system that had bound them in servitude and despair. "Babe, I can't believe the last insane cult of your people actually managed to capture you. You've got terrible luck," he remarked, a hint of incredulity in his voice as he looked at the freed alien. The alien giggled joyfully, tears of happiness streaming down his face as he embraced his rescuer. The human turned to the bartender, his request clear and filled with hope. 2 glasses of leany and sweet wine, the 251 vintage, the year we met." The bartender, still somewhat in shock over the unfolding events, poured out 2 glasses of the sweet wine with a practiced hand, his movements betraying a lingering sense of unease. The human and his alien boyfriend toasted, their clinking glasses a celebration of their long-awaited reunion. Their faces were illuminated by the soft glow of the bar's ambient lighting, casting shadows that danced gently across the room as they shared a moment of peace amidst the chaos of their lives. Their reunion was more than just a personal victory. It was a testament to the enduring bond between a human and an alien, a connection forged in the fires of adversity and tempered by mutual respect and love. In a galaxy where persistence and vengeance often dictated survival, their story stood as a beacon of hope, proving that even in the darkest corners of the frontier, love and loyalty could prevail. Despite the darkness of their pasts and the relentless pursuit of vengeance that defined humanity, their union offered a glimmer of hope amidst the shadows of their tumultuous lives. The night continued outside, the sounds of distant starships and the hum of the frontier city blending with the quiet celebration within the bar, a momentary respite from the endless chase that awaited those who dared to wrong the relentless humans. As they clinked their glasses, the bartender couldn't help but feel a sense of admiration for the human's unwavering determination and the lengths he had gone to protect those he loved. It was a reminder that even in a universe teeming with countless threats and adversaries, the human spirit remained unbroken, driven by an unyielding desire for justice and the hope that, amidst the stars, there still existed pockets of warmth and connection that could withstand the cold expanses of space.